Hi guys, this is the Betamax man here, and today what we're going to be doing is we're going to bring back the 750, and I've ordered the capacitor for the remember, because I had to, in the power supply, I had to put two capacitors in because I didn't have the right one, and so I ordered the right one, so we're going to put it in, and I'm pretty sure that one I'm going to put in is probably for the clock display, if I remember right, and that's probably why it's, looking dim, because if the clock is not receiving the proper voltage, that can definitely make it look dim because it's not getting the power it needs. And we need to get the screws off so we can get the power supply out, put that cap in, and we're going to see what happens. And then also, I do want to do a service on this thing. I'd like to service the bottom end of the machine, and mainly we're going to be looking at the real table motor. We're going to be taking a look at that and get that re-lubed and clean the old lube off, re-lube it. Basically just doing a service on this thing. Okay, so we got the power supply apart, and gonna change out the two caps that I put in there. We're gonna take those out and put in the proper capacitor. Okay, so you can see this black one here that we put in. So if you guys don't remember, this was a 63 volt at 100 microfarads. So if you're wondering what that one was, that's what that is. So anyway, but it's in, so we're gonna so now what I'll do is put it in, and we'll take a look at the real table motor assembly, and we'll get that serviced. Yeah, the display's still dim, so that's definitely because this was a high hours machine. This machine has been used a lot, and so this particular machine, I'm trying to make a decision on, do I want to keep it and put it into my collection, or do I want to sell it and look for a machine that has lower hours on it. And so I'm kind of thinking about that. I found my little Super Beta sign that I had bought off eBay. That actually came with a Sanyo 7250, and that particular box there, little this cool little design, this little sign, Super Beta, so, and then it's got Beta Hi-Fi, and if you'll see, it says 80 decibel, and which is pretty cool. But Super Beta, sharper picture with 20% higher resolution. And even though it's a Sanyo sign, I still put it on top of my Sony 1000. So that 2700 I got there on the bottom is probably going to be swapped out for this. I haven't really decided yet. Probably will swap it out for this one, because this one has the ability, you know, to play back Beta 1S, which is, a lot of my tapes have been recorded in that mode. So we can hit play. Yeah, we got, this is the Clone Wars movie. So, believe it or not, it seems to be that Warner Brothers were the ones that came out with this one. So Warner Brothers is the one that put it on, that they put it on video. So we'll rewind it back and you'll see the Warner Brother logo instead of the CBS Fox. Well, this is Warner Brothers, which is interesting because I thought all of the George Lucas films before Disney took over were CBS Fox or 20th Century Fox. You got the Lucasfilm. This is cool. So I don't want to show it too long because I don't want to get hit with a copyright, but I just thought that was very interesting. So there we go. But anyway, you know, it's working good, you know, and it does a good job. And now the next thing we'll do is just do a servicing on the reel table motor. So we've got the panel off, and we've got this panel off. I've also took the screws out of the reel table motor assembly, which now that reel table will basically just, you could push it up and it'll lift right up out of there. So now we can take the reel table motor assembly and we can take it out. Okay, so here's the assembly. Now this is the reel table motor is a little different on this one than say your 711B. It's a little bit different. It's still got a lot of the same stuff, but this is different, obviously. This is for your tape-in sensor. Sometimes these tape-in sensors can go out, and so these can be replaced very easily. So we've got your pancake motor, which is down here on the bottom. This little pancake motor. This is the one we'll take apart and lubricate. But we take the cut washer off of this. But you've got your idler pendulum gear. So this goes back and forth, and this thing does have a little bit of a slight problem when it's rewinding tapes, and where it's not having a trouble rewinding the tape, it's just making a little bit of noise, and it's not rewinding it as quick as it could be. And after we do a service on the reel table motor, that should take care of that. That should stop that problem. So we're going to go ahead and take the cut washer off. So we take that cut washer off, and then we'll be able to access the pancake motor. And this is a pretty neat little design. It's probably not the greatest designs that Sony made, but this was, you know, this is still kind of an interesting design mechanism. So what we want to do is pull the reels off, and so you can lift them straight up. Now you'll see here that one of the areas that I'm going to clean with some contact cleaner is all of these silver contacts here, and we'll clean those. Also, you want to clean the post here. So you take this pole or post, and I can feel that the lubrication is all dried up. So it's completely dry, and it needs to have 3-in-1 oil on there. 3-in-1 oil, and you can put a little drop on there, and it will keep the post lubricated, and this will slide easily. It'll move real easily and nice, like it should. So this is your braking system here. This is your tape tensioner band here. This applies a little bit of a tension. It's basically your brake. So this is how it stops the reel. And so this moves forward like that. And as you can see, that band will actually tighten, and the tighter that band becomes, it basically acts like a set of brake pads on your car that clamp onto your rotor, your disc, and stop the vehicle. It's the same kind of principle here. So, but you just, you can see here how it works. We're gonna take the tape tensioner band off so that we can get this reel off. So I'm going to pull the reel off. Now let's just say if you don't know, they're color coded, but if you don't know what side they go on, it might be a good idea for you to just put a little dot. Oops. Look what would happen there. We got a spring that just came off, so we're gonna put this back together and see where this one came from here. I think it came from there. Yeah, so that has to do with the, let's get that back on. And that one came off. I didn't want that to happen, but that's alright. And we're just gonna snap this back on in place here. Okay, so that's how it goes back on. So now we just need to take the spring and reattach it to that one. Okay, we've got the springs back on now. You can see that. And then that is for the brake on that side as well. So, alright, now we have that back on, so now we can go ahead and pull the reel off here. Just push that brake back, and this thing will come right off like that. So, like I was saying, we'll just clean those contacts here on the reel. These are sensors, and they basically, what these do is they detect the rotation of the reel, and that's why you have these little silver contacts, because that reads the rotation. So as this turns, that detects that it's turning. And if it detects a problem, what it can do is go into automatic shutdown. But yeah, so that actually detects this reel when it turns. So it's pretty interesting. Yeah. So now what we'll do is we can clean the posts, and we'll put a little drop of oil on each one of these posts. We're also going to take this pancake motor apart here, and this pancake motor has coils. Yeah, we'll just, yeah, they're kind of hard because they're a magnetic. There's a magnet on here. So this magnet is part of in the coils are what makes the motor for the idler. So we'll take we'll clean the post on this one. We'll use contact cleaner to clean the magnet. There's something else I'm going to mention here too. Now this is the pivot. This is the little arm, the idler arm that swings back and forth between the two reels. And this is what drives your take-up and supply reels. So one of the things you want to do is take the gear off here and do the same thing. Clean the posts really good, and I'll put just a drop of oil, just a tiny little drop, and then we'll put this back in. Okay, so I got this soaked in alcohol, and I'm just gonna clean the post here. And all that old lubricant is dried up, so, you know, you just gotta re-lube everything and get things going here. So, got that done. I'm gonna go ahead and clean the posts on the motor here. And you can use alcohol to clean the magnet and the post. You can see the dirt, the dried up oil that came off onto the paper towel. That is why it's a good idea to do this. Now another thing is we're going to clean the contacts on the reels here. So here is the 3-in-1 oil. This is just a multi-purpose oil. Now they do have the multi-purpose oil, and they also have motor oil. So if you're lubricating a motor, such as like the bearing or something like that, you want to use the motor oil one. I'm using the multi-purpose oil because for what I'm doing, it's going to work just perfectly. But if you're lubricating a bearing in a motor or something like that, then you need to get the motor oil because the oil is different. There's a difference between the two oils, and using a multi-purpose oil on a motor may not be as good, and it's not going to give you what you need. So lubricating a motor, doing a motor lubrication, you need to get the motor oil one, not the multi-purpose. So just keep that in mind, okay? So I'm actually, instead of trying to put a drop on the posts, I'm just going to put a little bit of oil on the paper towel, and then I'm going to dab the paper towel on the posts, and that will give me some lubrication. So let's just put some oil here, and there we go. Put the cap back on. and we'll, as you can see, we've got the oil soaked into the paper towel. So now what we can do is we can definitely put a little bit of oil now on the reels here. So, or the posts, not reels, but posts, sorry. Yeah, so I put it all together and it was working good. You know, but as part of the servicing, and this is more or less to prevent from having a problem in the future, I'm going to change these caps because these are 16 volt at 47 UF. So we're going to change those. But we are going to do a test. So I've got my multimeter out here. I just want to test and see what these things register with the meter. So for right now, we're just going to put the camera at this angle, but we're going to take a look here and see what they register as. But this negative side is towards me, and the positive. Okay, that one is okay. So this one's fine. Let's check this other one. Ooh, that one. That one. Oh yeah. Okay, so we've got one that's bad, and let's check this other one here. So number 2 is bad. So that's the one that I believe does the rewind. Wow. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's not. So these are going bad. One of them's like completely open, so that's probably why we have a little bit of because when it's in rewind, it's a little bit slow. Now sometimes when these things have trouble rewinding, sometimes it's because the tape actually is sticking to the upper drum, and that can cause rewind to be real slow or struggling. But it's not struggling to rewind, it's just a little slow, and it doesn't sound like it quite like it should. So we're just going to change all these caps. These are all Elnas, and there's like one that's completely open. We've got 2 more of them that are going bad. We got one that's good. So out of all 4, we got one that's good. So let's change these out and put it all back together, and then we'll see how she performs, because when we change those out, it's going to perform beautifully. Okay, now I've got them all soldered in, and we'll nip off the leads. Take those leads off, and we'll put this back in the machine. And this thing should perform like $1,000,000 as far as the idler reel table motor assembly goes. Okay, so she's all back together, guys. Let's just see how it performs, shall we? Or did I screw up? Well, not likely. Yeah, she works pretty good. I mean, we're still gonna have to repair. We're gonna have to find out why the lights are not working, and the fact that the lights come back on is what momentarily is what makes me think that maybe the capacitors have failed. That controls the volume meters. So let's go ahead and hit stop. We're going to go ahead and forward. As you can see, it's doing a very good job at it. Okay. Now, rewind was where it was kind of struggling a little bit. And it wasn't struggling to rewind, but it was having some trouble. Like, you know, there's a little bit of resistance there when it was rewinding. So let's just see what happens now. Oh yeah, much better. Much better. Let's rewind it all the way. Let's do, well, we want to do an index. I wanted to hit the reset the counter, play. So she is performing beautifully. And if we rewind, so let's just rewind. So I do gotta figure out why it's doing that, but I'm gonna have to do a service manual and see what I can find, because I'm actually not quite sure what's causing that to happen. But at least this thing now performs very good with new capacitors and re-lubing the real table motor parts, and this thing is now performing very well. You know, and maybe probably the next thing that I might do with this thing is that I may go into the head amplifier and completely recap it. And I don't know if I'm going to do a full restoration on this. Probably not. I'll probably just do like a, you know, here and there, just see what parts that, you know, because your head amplifier, the caps go bad on it sometimes. Sometimes the chroma board, now the chroma board is your color. That is your color. You got your color processing is all done in the chroma board. Now, I think the chroma board is probably underneath this board right here. It may be the one on the very bottom. It's been a while since I worked on a 750. But this is the 711A chassis, so which they only made this particular one for this particular model. They had the 750, they had the 950, they had the 1000D with this chassis. So yeah, so anyway, yeah, I like the 711A chassis, except for I don't like the fact that they used a rotary encoder switch, but although they used a sealed rotary encoder switch, so which helps prevent dirt and dust from getting in there. So the rotary encoder switch is actually right underneath these wires here. This brown looking thing, that's the rotary encoder. So we'll put this thing back together now, and that's pretty much it. That's all I'm going to do to it this weekend, and probably within the next couple of weekends, maybe next weekend or the weekend after, I'll get a little bit of money coming in, and I'll be able to order some more beta machines. Okay, she's all back together, so I'm probably gonna watch a couple movies on it. I ordered a couple more movies. I actually ordered, I found some more Gunsmoke TV series on beta, so I'll be very excited to get those, but it's going to take a couple weeks to get them because the guy lives, you know, clear across the other side of the United States. So, which is, I think, Missouri is where it's coming from. So, I mean, that's a long ways away, so it'll take a while, but yeah, and they were sealed. Some of them are sealed, and they were sold as a VHS tape because the seller doesn't know what I know, and I know that it was a beta copy, because what they would do is they would put like a little green sticker on the side to indicate that it was the beta format, because on the cover itself you don't know that it's VHS or beta because it doesn't have anything indicating that. But I'll show you guys how I identified it being a beta tape. We'll do more on that on the video when I get them in, but I ordered a couple of them, so we're gonna get those coming in, and that'll be good. So anyway, we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.